This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and I'm looking forward to getting into today's topic. But first, I want to share with you, I decided over the weekend that I would start a online community for Mood Prep. So if you're an avid listener and you enjoy the content, then if you actually search on Facebook, Mood Prep Online, you'll find a closed group. Simply request to be part of the group and I'll let you in. It's literally just started this week. It's the end of April at the moment in 2018. So if you listen to this in the future sometime, welcome. But also, just jump on there. You'll be able to find it. That's where I can also answer some questions. If you've got some things you'd like to, for me to talk more about, you can obviously put that in there. I'll put a lot of my resources in there to back up maybe some of the things that I'm saying or things that I find interesting. Either way, you get it. It's an online community of kick-ass people that want to learn about like-minded shit. So get on it. Mood Prep Online on Facebook. And also all these podcasts end up going onto YouTube as well. So I'm just in the process of backloading all the other ones on there. But however, from 60 onwards, they're all on YouTube. So you can find me on there. If you search Dave Nixon, you'll find me. Or Mood Prep, you'll see it pop up once again. Cool. Delicious. Today's topic, I'm going to start with a quote that blew my mind when I heard it. I was like, Jesus, that's too relatable. I didn't actually speak to Jesus, but you get it. Cool. The quote goes this. When I say this, there's a variation depending on who you ask. There's a couple of slight variations. However, I'm going to go with this. I am not who I think I am. I am not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. And this was a really interesting quote, right? It's I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. And this sort of hit me in the feels. I was like, man, how many times have I tried to live up to what I expect my other people's expectations of me are, right? How many times was I just trying to get seen for the reason being that I think that's what I should be doing, and maybe there's love on the other side, And it was never from this judgmental point of view of oh, you're an idiot, why were you doing this? It was from this man, okay, wow, that's where it comes from. And this is why I continually say, keep fucking unraveling yourself. It's fucking courageous, right? This shit is it bruises the ego, but that's fine. Ego recovers. It's so it should, right? Ego's bruised you a few times, and so it's just sort of look at this and go, we have so many layers, and this is when somebody I've seen my thoughts laid out, and I'm like, man, I thought I did something for this reason, but that was just what I told myself the reason why I did it. Really, it came from this kind of fear or insecurity or deeper belonging or something along those lines. And when you see that for what it is, you start to see through your own bullshit. You're and someone goes, I think I know why I do what I do. And it's fuck, I actually don't think you do. It's maybe you do. Maybe you fucking hung out with Carl Jung and, a few other Alan Watts for long enough. But otherwise, man, we have so many things going on in the background. And that's okay. It's just our responsibility to unravel them. It may not have been our fault, right? And that's the thing. It may not have been our fault that certain things in our childhood trained us or taught us or encouraged us to protect ourselves in a particular way. But as an adult, it damn well is our responsibility to make sure that we can do what we can to take care of those so we don't just project them onto everyone else, right? This is the big thing. But yeah, when I sort of thought there about this quote, I was like, I am who I think, not know, who I think you think I am. And it's just man, I got to stop living for other people. Hey, it's that shit doesn't work. We think it's nice, but really you're not in their head. You don't know what they want. It's the age, I've said it before, the quote of please let me help save you or you'll drown, said the monkey to the fish putting it up a tree. It's we do not know what's best for other people. We barely know what's good for us. And that's why self-mastery is the goal. It's not even a goal. That's why self-mastery is the pursuit of living. Because what it allows us to do is to understand our behaviors and actions for where they actually come from, rather than going, oh, it's just a leaf. It's like, yeah, but the leaf has a fucking, like a branch. The branch has like a trunk. The trunk has roots, and the roots involved with the soil, and there's a story to it. It's not just a leaf, right? So when we act out, it's just, oh, it's just I was angry. It's like, yeah, but where did the anger come from? It's got some roots somewhere, right? And find out that. Otherwise, it'll rot and fall on your motorbike, like the tree did to my motorbike last Thursday. True story. So what I found fascinating was when I understood this thing. When I understood, I heard it, didn't understand it. I heard it again later on. I started to understand it. Is that we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are, right? If you're fucking resentful and jaded, then you see the world in that layer, that filter. If you're happy and carefree, then you see the world in that. Now, neither one's right nor wrong. Like, to think that it's the quote of, once again, like, if you think a lion's not going to bite you back just because you're not going to bite the lion, like, you got another thing coming. It's like, fuck, that's life, man. You know, it's not a matter of like life's always going to try and bite you in the neck. It's not. That's not true. Yet, to be naive to trust someone else over your own gut instincts is something that you'll only learn a few times before you like either become super resentful and super protected, or you'll learn to make sure that you play nicely but mismatch things that don't sense right within your body and your being. So once again, to repeat what I said before, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. And that's why when you hear someone say, oh, I just tell it how it is, I just tell it straight, it's like, no, you don't, fuckhead. Like, you tell it how you are. You tell it how you see it. And that's not the truth. That's a truth, which, you know, can be argued because it's simply that. Because if someone tells you that they tell it how it is, it means that they struggle with the idea of seeing it from other perspectives, right? Like, that's the beauty of it. It's just like, man, that's a really challenging way to live. When you're angry, step into second person, step into third person, step into fourth person, right? And you start to see, you're like, actually, this is got nothing to do. It's completely to, you know, with the truth. It's got nothing to do with finding a solution. It's got to do with me needing to be right. And why do I need to be right? Well, fuck, I was the older sibling, so because I was the older sibling, I was always burdened with I should have known better. And if I didn't, then someone, you know, I'd get hurt. And so that's what I'm afraid of. It's like, right, well, fuck, we'll pull that apart. Off you go. So this is why, like, when we understand that we see the world as we are, it means that every single thing is a window of opportunity, right? It's a window into ourselves. When we're angry at something, it's like, nah, man, you can point outside of yourself as much as you want, but that anger is inside. The anger is not outside of you. It's felt inside. So where is it coming from, right? And this is a really important thing. And it's just like, when we move into this space of awareness, we're able to actually see things as they are, for what they are, rather than see them as our filters tell them. And the beautiful thing about this is that as thoughts arise and our internal dialogue starts to go off on things, and we have feelings arise and all this sort of stuff, we just bring awareness to it. And, you know, in the sense of going, okay, well, why did that make me feel kind of defensive, right? Oh, it's because of X, Y, and Z. Nah, it's got nothing to do with them. Come on, you're better than that. Where in me did that come from? Come on, if you just continue to place blame on something outside of you, then you can never get better. Like, you don't go, it's your fucking fault and now I'm going to improve because of it. It doesn't work that way. We have to be able to see our role in this situation and figure out where that shit comes from, and then we can deal with it. And so, by doing that, every single sensation, every single thought is an opportunity for insight. Now, it's no accident the word insight starts with in, right? It's an opportunity for insight into yourself. Every moment is an opportunity to unravel your potential just that little bit more, if you give yourself permission. And that's the biggest thing. And it's just like, sometimes it's far easier just to fucking lay down and put Netflix on and off you go. That's cool, whatever, read a book, go for a walk, whatever. But if we see reality as this, we don't see good and bad circumstances. We see an opportunity for unraveling our potential, and that fucking changes everything. Self-mastery is true mastery, right? And be curious. Be curious about it all and non-judgmental. When you find yourself going, fuck, I've been doing that this whole time, man. It's not like, oh, you're such an idiot. It's just like, okay, that's useful to know. It means that I can now use that information and keep going, because you never arrive. It's like, oh, okay, you've done learning. Well done. Self-mastery. Here's your black belt. Doesn't happen. It's a continual, forever unraveling. Hence why they say enjoy the process. So team, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. I hope you got something out of it. If you enjoyed it, I would love it if you share it with a friend. I'm looking forward to getting a few more musings back on the radio soon. I'm just organising a few other things for the business. But otherwise, as I mentioned at the start of this podcast, jump online, Mood Prep Online, and click add. I don't know how it works. I don't have to add myself. Request, invitate. I don't know. You'll figure it out. Jump on there, Mood Prep Online, and I'll say hello and add you in, and we can have some solid banter on there as well. But as always, thank you very much for listening. Until tomorrow, peace and pizza, kick today in the dick, and slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
To be everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.